We know what we're looking for in a winner, and each task helps us to get closer to that point. You're dismissed.
I didn't come to play around, I came to win. This competition means stepping out of my comfort zone.
What I've learned from the activities, and then I'm gonna put that together, come up with a strategy and take it one day at a time.
I don't want to go in and say, this is my strategy and this is exactly how I'm going to win. I think that needs to go through a process of being adapted.
Strategic alliances is quite important, and being prepared, always being prepared for every task that you go to.
I have a deep desire to be the best. I think that's what drives me. If you don't compete, how do you know that you're the best?
The Insurance Apprentice is the perfect platform for me to display the skills and the techniques that I've learned within the insurance industry and to share that with the rest of South Africa.
If I forget that they're good and they made it here this far because they were good, then I would lose the competition.
Being able to, answer questions, handle tasks well, and just engage with the team members.
We're in a very special location today. We're at Jeppe High School for Girls in Johannesburg, and I think we've got a task that befits the location, so I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. We're also very fortunate that we've got Kabelo Paile here, who was last year's winner. She's the guest judge for the day. And we also have Adeline Singh, who's representing the Inseta, who are the sponsors of today's task, and she'll take you through that now. Adeline?
Inseta, as the Education and Training Authority, pushes people to new heights all the time. We promote skills development, we provide funding, we provide opportunities for people to grow and develop, specifically women in the insurance industry. In this task, you will be required to research the career of a female leader in the insurance industry, either locally or globally, and present that individual's rise in terms of where they've been going, what have they been doing in terms of their career path plan. You'll be required to speak about the educational and training journey of this individual, and also look at the opportunities that are provided by Inseta specifically, motivating to the learners what type of a career path they could choose. I will be looking for a message from you about empowerment of females to enter into the insurance sector.
Right, so you're quite fortunate in that you've had a little bit of time to prep and to think about who you're going to be speaking about. In business, often the unexpected happens. You've done all the prep work, you've rehearsed, you've got all your technology lined up, you're ready to deliver your presentation to your client. And at the last minute, one of your colleagues takes ill and you have to take over. So to make things a little bit more interesting today, you're going to be switching topics with your teammate. So you'll be judged during the course of the day as to how you work as a team, delivering that information to your colleague, and then you'll also be judged on your delivery of your new topic to the learners a little bit later today. You're dismissed.
So today we were tasked by Inseta to address a group of schoolgirls about opportunities for female empowerment that exist within the insurance industry.
Speaking about their journey towards where they are right now, their educational background, as well as including Inseta and the Inseta opportunities that they give and who they are.
Inseta plays such a dynamic and important role in the insurance industry because they are the government-funded organisation that basically is designed to develop and hone in on scarce and critical skills in the insurance industry.
With the education that they offer, it's really important to upskill people and to make sure that they are getting that human capital that they need in order to have a successful career.
So we were given a bit of notice in terms of preparation for this task because of how involved it was. I picked Ingrid Beale, the CEO of Lloyd's. It's a cause that's very dear to my heart because that was actually my entry point into the insurance industry. I benefited from a learnership that they offered, and here I am today flourishing. So
I chose Lizée Lambrecht. I chose her because she's currently CEO of one of the biggest general insurers in South Africa.
So I picked Roxanne Woodley as my role model, and the main reason why I chose that was to promote what the Insurance Apprentice is doing and the exposure that it's giving people.
I decided to speak about Megan Merritt, and she's the professional head of the professional broking team at Aon, which is the largest professional broking team in the country.
Map out the career path, map out how the person has achieved that position, how they've reached that in terms of the career pathing plan.
It's important that we address these issues, and it's important that we attract young women to the industry that aspire to those roles.
To be back, sitting now as a guest judge and looking in this year is actually quite an eye-opener. Since winning the Insurance Apprentice, many doors have been opened. It changes everything for you. It really gives you a world of opportunities, network, and just learn a whole lot of things. So I'm very blessed. It's been a great journey.
So for the task today, we're given a bit of preparation time ahead of actually delivering on our challenge. But it appeared too easy. So of course, true to their word, the judges telling us to always expect the unexpected. They threw us a curveball. We had to swap topics. So here you are with this topic that you've become so familiar with, and you know exactly how you're going to present it. You have your audience in mind, and then you have to hand it over to somebody else.
I knew that they'd all done quite a bit of prep work for this one, which we don't normally allow. So technically it would have been a much easier task than what we've had. We would probably get a better idea of how they function under pressure if we switched them around.
In the world of business, if you want to be an ambassador in the insurance industry, you must be ready for anything. You must be ready for the curveball because it will come at any time. It will be the determinant on whether you succeed in business.
This is a wonderful life lesson to learn, and also to know that with the apprentice, you have to keep on your toes at all times.
We're talking to people that could potentially join our industry and be a representation of us, and something I say today might have an impact on a young girl's life, and she might go, well, this girl made me think about insurance. And that's important to me.
How I got into the insurance industry, really, it was an opportunity that availed itself at the point where I was looking at changing my career. So at that point I was doing marketing and I wanted to move out of the company. And the guy that gave me an opportunity owns a short-term brokerage. So he said to me, listen, get your RE and I'll give you an opportunity. And that's where it started. And since then I've been just studying and just trying to get all the knowledge that I can acquire through the experience.
I studied finance at varsity, and the reason that I got into the insurance industry was I was approached and offered an opportunity to get in at a young age. And what's really nice about the insurance industry is everyone works together as a community and helps upskill you. So I was trained in the job and learned from the people around me.
I needed to live, so one day I came across an advert for a learnership opportunity. I don't know what a learnership was. You read up about it, you find out that it's an opportunity to develop skills. Well, I did it through Santam. It was a partnership with Santam. It was a Santam learnership. I was alerted to an opportunity at Mirabilis, which is a Santam affiliate. It gave me a unique perspective of the insurance model, how it works in practice, because being in different functional areas, you get to figure out how all the cogs sort of come together to make the machine work.
My journey, like many people into the insurance industry, wasn't necessarily intentional. I didn't grow up going, one day I want to be in insurance. I studied my law degree and I went on to do my articles and I became a lawyer. I realized along the way that it wasn't something that fitted. It didn't feel right for me and I knew my home was somewhere else. I did insurance work and I was introduced to people that did actual insurance work for a living. And I went for an interview and I decided to join the industry as a legal advisor. And I realized when I was there that this is special. This is something I want to do with the rest of my life. I'm happy here.
What I'm looking for in the presentations today is firstly content. I would like to learn something out of the presentations today. A lot of energy, a lot of connection. I feel that you need to remember who your audience is and speak to your audience that they're going to take home today, tomorrow, and still remember that, listen, I remember this message from the Insurance Apprentice.
Knox had a good energy and she felt like she could grab the audience well, and I think she did a very good job of that. So it was always the plan for her to introduce and try and pull them in and get their attention and get them on board with what we were saying and excite them and not bore them.
We are the insurance rock stars.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop.
So I'm an underwriter, Sam's a lawyer, and I'm sure that makes you think that we're really serious. But let's start things off with a little bit of fun.
When they walked in, the learners loved them. They loved the vibe that was created by Knox and Sam.
So who's heard of Beyonce? Everybody knows Beyonce. Who's heard about Oprah Winfrey? Michelle Obama.
She and I had such good energy going and such a good flow that we said, okay, I need to help you and you need to help me. It's not about who outshines the other person here. We are still a team. So I'm going to give you as much information as I can on Megan and vice versa.
Who's heard of Inga Beale? You're a rock star too.
So today we're going to take you through our mentors, our Beyoncés, and I'm going to start by telling you about one of my mentors, and her name is Inga Beale.
So I had quite a lot of material, so much so that she actually cut a lot of it out, but it made sense for the constraints, and given the fact that she wouldn't have been able to familiarize herself to the level that I had, given the time that we had to prepare.
Just some background to Inga is she did her degree in business studies and she focused on economics and maths. She went on to become an underwriter and then perfected her craft in insurance.
Sam was able to be more personal and bring that personal touch to the presentation.
Sam was extremely efficient in terms of handling the information. She started taking notes straight away. So for her to get to grips with it the way that she did, I was super impressed. Kudos to her.
I did what I could to focus on the facts and learn who this person is and why they inspire you as a woman and why they're successful as a woman. And obviously you are going to get a little bit lost along the way and miss out on information there. That's the reality of it. Knox, who inspires you? Is there anybody you can tell me about?
Well, you've told us about Inga. She's both our girl crush, our women crush Wednesday, but I want to bring it home for you guys. So I'm going to talk to you guys about Megan Merritt. She's local. She lives here in Johannesburg.
I think Knox did a very good job of representing my subject matter today. I think it was difficult on the spot to try and speak about somebody that you don't know anything about. And working with what I'd given her, yes, I think she did a good job.
And today, she is arguably the most important person in insurance. She heads up the largest organization in insurance. It's a pretty big deal for us. Let me just give you an idea. They handle about 27 billion pounds in premium. Do you guys know how much that is in rands? Sam had quite a lot of generic and specific information, whereas mine had a very personal touch. So I felt she was the best person to handle that today.
Yes, I feel like I did give a lot more than maybe I got, but she did do a very good job of, on the spot, trying to teach me about this person. So it definitely wasn't intentional. I think that was her way of learning her presentation.
Bossed up academically. And you might be wondering what a lawyer is doing in insurance, right? Doesn't really make sense. Guys, there's a place for everyone in insurance. And when I highlight her career progression, you really see how this is true. So she used her academic qualifications to find her ultimate home. And her passion that she found there, she decided to stay, and she's been with Aon her entire career. It started off as Glenrand, a little small brokerage, where she was the company lawyer. Fancy, huh?
Knox had lots of energy and she was out there and connected with the students on that level. I think Knox should concentrate also on her content, also and her message. I felt that her message wasn't strong enough today. And for Sam, I felt that Sam should also be more engaging with the crowd.
And when it came to talking about Inseta, she looked at my presentation and went, "You've done a good job here. There's a lot of information on Inseta. Maybe you must run with that and I'll feed off of you throughout the presentation."
Sam, do you want to tell us about Inseta?
Guys, so there's this awesome initiative that I'm going to tell you a little bit about today, and that's called Inseta. So what is Inseta? Inseta is basically an education and training authority that is designed, and it has many purposes, but its key focuses are generally to attract and improve young talent in the insurance insurance industry, so develop skills, give people that were previously unemployed the opportunity to now become employable and give them jobs. And while they're doing that, they can study as well. And it doesn't matter that I'm young, and it doesn't matter that I'm a woman. It matters that my argument is so important and I have such an important skill to offer.
Their teamwork was excellent. I loved the way the presentation flowed between each other, that they almost seemed to work off each other's energy.
Hello, ladies. How are you guys doing? All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do right now, we want you guys to tell us who do you think is a better driver between a female and a male, all right?
Wait.
So they were like a fun group. They had a great team effort where they started with this brilliant analogy of which of the sexes is the better driver. And then that led into a conversation about how underwriters assess risk, looking at different behavior.
All right, so Carl's gonna start. So show them how you drive, Carl.
Okay, so I'm driving in traffic. Move out my way, I'm trying to come through here. Put your indicator on, man, you're not turning. We had a nice introduction together with a bit of play on the guys and girls driving skills, and I think that worked very well.
Oh, what am I gonna eat for lunch today? So, ladies, who's the better driver?
The person that Kay researched was a very good example of a very successful female who's now the CEO of Santam, which was a great topic to talk about, and it gave me a good step forward in the speech. So Lisa Lambrecht is the CEO of Santam. She's the first ever female CEO. How has she done this? She's worked really hard to create a program that protects the individuals.
I think he dealt very well with it. He didn't even need to go and research more on that person because I really gave him everything that I possibly could get.
I love the way Carl's content was really good. He brought it to digital. Digital is a big thing in our world today and going forward, and bringing it personal to the learners in terms of cell phone. So I loved his message too.
Now I'm going to be telling you about a lady called Roxanne Moodley. Now Roxanne Moodley is currently in the insurance industry, and she's an underwriting manager for AIG. I know those are big words. So what she really does is exactly what you guys looked at, like how we drive, and then she looks at the behavior of a client and gives a client a premium based on their behavior, all right? Now, Roxanne studied a BCom in entrepreneurial management, and then further did an honors in strategic management. And she still found herself in the insurance industry.
I think she dealt with the information that I gave her very well. She applied herself very quickly and understood the angle that I was going with and why I wanted to speak about it. And we worked very well together.
So now what insurance does is it's an industry, but it's got different sectors, like an accountant can come in. For me, for example, I studied BCom marketing. I'm a marketer, right? But I'm in the insurance industry. It's a field where there's many opportunities and growth. And right now, we want women like you to come into this industry.
I think that they both did well. All the apprentices, they did well in relaying the message, but they weren't very prepared because of the curveball that was given to them.
Kutlwano and Carl, I thought, worked well together they came across as a young, vibey team. And I feel like most of that was probably her idea. I can't imagine him sort of conceiving of the way they conducted themselves today, or even agreeing to it.
I threw him with that whole, do you guys want to see Carl dance? And, it just showed the team dynamic where he could have been like, no, I'm not going to do this, So, and if he said something that I need to do, then I did it. Carl will dance. Let's show them.
My dancing skills are definitely very limited, but it worked out very well in the moment, and we gelled quite well together.
Let's show them. 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 Let's show them.
I think it was quite nice that you kept it a secret and made it more genuine in the presentation, and I suddenly had to decide how to move and dance.
Brave women in insurance know how to fashion.
I think Kay had a good message. Kay also was innovative, and she brought in nice little dancing moves into the presentation just to keep it fresh and the learners awake.
We really worked well as a team, and it's someone I've been looking forward to working with in terms of team. So I was very happy with how we performed today.
And it was really nice to be able to work in a team with Kay. She's a very, very interesting individual, and she's very strong. And yeah, she definitely helped me perform better today.
It's really difficult to say, stick to the mandate and you're the winner. We couldn't really do that, and that's why the scoring today is extremely close. So for me, the ideal would have been someone that could engage with the audience in a creative way and stick to the mandate. And I can tell you, I don't think that either of the groups nailed that 100%. The first group, Knox and Samantha. How do you think that worked out for you guys?
Well, I think she brought the noise, that's for sure. She brought the vibe. She's quite sassy, and I think she basically roped Sam into that. Sam probably found herself in a new environment, having to
maybe
tag
a little
along.
bit uncomfortable with that, actually.
Maybe.
No, the dynamics were quite good. I love the way the team flowed together. The presentations almost worked off each other.
Yes.
But I do agree that I think in this task, Sam did better in terms of delivering the content. And this was, for me, a better candidate in this task.
One of the things that bothered me about Sam's delivery, though, was, or rather the content. She was supposed to be talking about Inga Beale from Lloyd's, but she didn't really spend that much time talking about her. And I thought she also, you know, from an Inseta perspective, she spent quite a bit of time talking about that, which I thought was probably, out of all the speakers, she probably did the best job with that. Let's talk about Kutlwano and Carl. So, I mean, I was actually blown away because I've seen Carl during the course of the contest, and his Achilles heel, if I can call it that, has been what appears to be a fear, or at least an awkwardness with public speaking.
I loved the start of Carl and Kay's presentation. They came with a bang, and they played off the male-female driving.
Yes.
And I think the students loved that and took to that. However, I just don't feel that the presentation was fluid.
Okay, well, I think we've got a pretty good idea of what happens next. So well done for tackling that. I'm going to thank our sponsor, Adeline Singh from Inseta. There's just a couple of other things that I want to mention. So the audience favorite for the day was Kutlwano. They voted you as the presenter that they connected with the most, so well done for that. The winning group, however, is Samantha and Knox. We felt as judges that you were closer to the brief. In all the seasons up to now, we've gone into the finals with 4. We've not really let anybody go at this late stage of the contest. And it's not something that I enjoy doing. So I'm not going to. Today, you're all staying. Good effort, but please get closer to the brief. We've got a really tough task coming up next, one that will allow no wiggle room if you don't hit the mark 100%. And you're not guaranteed that all 4 of you will move through into the final.
So being able to touch young lives and see them react the way that they did and feeding off of that energy was absolutely fantastic. And I truly, truly appreciate the opportunity to do what we did today.
We shouldn't be pushing, just females for the sake of it, just so that we have that that balance, you know, so you need to have passion for what you do.
You have success in your career, you have success with your degrees and with your title, but at the end of the day you've got to go home and be happy and proud of that, and now I am, and that's so important to me.
I feel that it would be wonderful to see more female leaders come through, for more female leaders to also mentor and teach other young leaders in the industry. I feel that women really need to start taking their place and be unapologetic about it.